I don't think I'm ever gonna go through a midlife crisis.
Dead ass?
That ass.
Hmm.
I'm gonna explain why though. Okay.
Okay. The term midlife crisis to me is not necessarily a crisis.
Mm.
What came to me was a midlife clarity.
Mm.
Hmm. Let's talk about it.
1, 2, 3.
It all started with real talk, unfiltered, honest, and straight from the heart. Since then, we've gone on to become Webby Award-winning podcasters and New York Times best-selling authors.
Deadass was more than a podcast for us. It was about our growth. A place where we could be vulnerable, be raw.
Pause. But most importantly, be us.
But as we know, life keeps evolving, and so do we. And through it all, one thing has never changed.
This
is Ellis Ever After.
Dead ass.
Because we got a lot to talk about.
So, story time. I'm going to talk about what year this was.
You good at the years, man, because everything is jumbled together. Timelines be so jumbled together in my head.
1997.
Oh, you took it way back.
1997. I was in 7th grade. And now I'm going to explain to you why I think I'm never going to go through a midlife crisis.
Okay.
7th grade, my parents and I were having a family caucus, right? And the family caucus was chores, as always. Things were not getting done, right? And at this moment in my life, I was 13. I had already gotten kicked off the basketball team by my mom.
Wait, how'd your mom kick you off the basketball team?
Because
or she pulled you?
Remember Mr. She pulled me off the basketball team, but remember Mr. Fast?
Yes.
Gave me 55, and then I had to prove
that you did your work.
I did my work, and he ended up giving me an 80. My mom still didn't let me play basketball because we had to go through that. Just because, and it was just like, what? Like, just because I had to do something, just because he didn't do his job, and I had to prove that he wasn't doing his job, I still couldn't play basketball. I was fed up. So now we going through chores and stuff. And I think this was my midlife crisis. My mom
at 7th grade?
At 7th grade. My parents had gone through a list of chores that needed to be done. And it was front yard, backyard, DeVal and Bryan. Bathrooms, DeVal and Bryan. Basement, DeVal and Bryan. Kitchen, DeVal and Bryan. So when she got to that, I said, so pretty much we have to do everything. Just say that. Like, y'all had children to have slaves. And my mom said, excuse me? I said, this isn't fair. Like, I wasn't in the universe asking for someone to bring me here. I came here off of y'all guilty pleasures, and now y'all want me to do all the work.
The fact that you still have all your teeth in your mouth is crazy.
That was my midlife crisis at 13. But I honestly felt that way, and it was in that moment when I realized stuff wasn't fair, I stopped trying to conform to what everybody wanted me to do, because I realized while trying to do everything everybody wanted me to do, I was still failing. I was still getting in trouble at school. I was still getting in trouble at home while trying to do everything. So at that point, I said, I'm going to just do what I want to do. And I moved into the basement out of my room upstairs, and I just started focusing on what I wanted to do. And my parents told me that I was going to reap the benefits of that, or I was going to deal with consequences. And clearly, it's been the benefits. Not so much the consequences. But I said that was my midlife crisis at 13. I was done with everybody. Period.
All right, karaoke time. Shoot, I forgot what our song was today for karaoke.
Come on, I texted to you.
You did text it to me.
I did text it to you.
Oh, my goodness.
He forgot, too.
I know, we got to go back to the text messages.
I know what it is, though.
Is it? Oh, it is.
Clearly, you know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, we talking about clarity.
Yes.
Midlife clarity. So here we go. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. It's going to be a bright sunshine day. And that's all I know. But shout out to, what was it, Jimmy Nash?
I don't even know.
I think it's Jimmy Nash.
Too many questions, man. You had the clarity you supposed to know since you had the clarity.
That is a fact. I mean, the fact that you even had a midlife crisis in the 7th grade is crazy.
Yes.
But it was just a byproduct of how you felt, I guess, apparently at home.
Yes.
You realize that you need to do your own thing.
Yes.
In life.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Well, let's go take a quick break, and we're going to get back into story time and op or no op.
All right, so we back.
Yeah. So that story time had me laughing during the break because I was like, wow, you feeling as though you now have midlife clarity was simply a byproduct of
at 13.
At 13, feeling like things were unjust in your household.
Yeah, because I got tired of people telling me things to do and me following everything they told me to do and still not reaping the benefits of what I was told I was going to get. Like, you go to school, you do things the right way, and your teachers will help support you, and then you can go play basketball if you want. I did everything. And this guy, Mr. Fast, I'll never forget him.
Can't wait to. Where is he at
He just
nowadays, Mr.
probably
Fast? If we ever
still
see you in these streets,
probably still at Andrews Huddy Junior High School terrorizing kids. That was my first time realizing that some adults just be jealous of kids. Right? Like, because he had no reason to do that. My mom's pressed him, my pops pressed him, and then he changed my grade and admitted he was wrong. But then in 8th grade, tried to get me kicked off the Florida trip. Same guy.
So he had this like a personal vendetta against you, it seems as though.
I also found out it's because he liked little girls. And he was one of the teachers that used to be rubbing their backs and, oh, your bra strap was, you know, now as a grown man, what you saw back then, what you didn't realize was happening. And it just so happened that I was the cute kid that the girls liked. And I guess Mr. Fast didn't like the fact that they liked me.
Yo,
so
he was
just
hating on you.
hating on me big time. As a grown adult now, I see it. Didn't understand it then.
At the time, right.
You know, but I was
if he
upset.
could see you now.
Oh, yeah, he'd probably hate me now. You know, I went back to Andrews Huddy Junior High School when I was in the NFL. And I asked to go directly to his class.
Did you find him?
I went right to his class.
And he was
Mr.
there?
Fast. Yes, he was still there. And I didn't realize.
Wow.
I realize now, because I was smaller then, that he's only about 5'6". You know, he's a large guy, doesn't take care of himself. And then the minute I walked in, he was just looking all weird. And I was just like, what's up, Mr. Fast? You remember me, Deval Ellis? And he was like, oh, class of 98. So you do remember me. Yeah, remember you tried to get me kicked off the Florida trip? And I went right to the class and said, hey, man, make sure you keep receipts. This guy said I wasn't doing my homework. Good thing I was doing my homework on the computer. Remember that, Mr. Fast? And he was just standing there like, It was just looking mad awkward.
You got your lick back.
He didn't like you, man.
That was cute.
You probably messed with him, too.
I didn't mess with him at all. I didn't. I was 13. I had no clue that this guy had these issues with me. He took my Lucky Bucks away. It's a whole story.
The Lucky Bucks.
You see, it's still triggering, right?
Clearly.
Y'all want to hear a quick story?
I just heard about Lucky Bucks a couple times.
Yo, I'm
Tell
gonna
them
tell
real
y'all
quick.
a story, yo. So, Lucky Bucks was a thing we had in 7th grade, right? So whoever at the end of the year had the most Lucky Bucks was able to get a prize or something, right? So he gave Lucky Bucks to kids who answered questions correctly, right? So I'm walking back from class, and I hear him talking to the girls, and he had a tie on that had a battle of it. And he was just like, this tie was from the Battle of Gettysburg. You can tell specifically because the helmets and this and that. And I'm walking by, I hear him talking to the girls. And now I realize he was just trying to be cool. He probably was never a cool kid his whole life, but now he had a chance to be cool.
The Battle of Gettysburg tie was supposed to be his way.
That was his way.
Of stunting on these hoes. Okay. Right.
They was 13-year-old hoes. But you messed up, Kay.
My bad.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm trying to say.
But he was trying to stunt.
Right.
So I walk into class, and he was just like, whoever can guess what battle my tie is from gets 50 Lucky Bucks. Now, he only gave 2 Lucky Bucks out like per question. So 50 Lucky Bucks was a big deal. He automatically assumed
you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know. So I raised my hand up because I was ear hustling, right? I raised my hand and he chuckled. Okay, Ellis, what battle do you think this is? And I said, well, based on the helmets and the attire of the soldiers, I would have to say the Battle of Gettysburg. And he turned beet red.
Oh, he's white?
Red. Yeah, he's white.
Oh, okay.
Right. Beet red, right? So he said, come get your Lucky Bucks. So he gave me 50 Lucky Bucks. It was little pieces of paper, right? So now he asked another question. And then someone else answered. He said, Deval, give him 10 of your Lucky Bucks.
Oh, no.
So I said,
son.
Yes, this is a true story. Ask my mom. So I said, why am I giving him 10 of my Lucky Bucks? I'm not giving nobody my Lucky Bucks. And he's like, give him 10 of your Lucky Bucks. It's part of the whole thing. So then after like the third time of me giving some of my Lucky Bucks, I just gave them all back. And I said, I don't want none of your fucking Lucky Bucks. Then he sent me to the principal's office because I cursed at him. So when I went to the principal's office, you know what I did?
Call my mother.
The
original Karen Ellis, K.E.
And then, yeah, my mother called my father because she couldn't come. And my father came up there and pressed him. And when he pressed him, he admitted it. And while he was admitting it, another teacher in the room was just like, you did that to a kid? And then that spiraled into that semester. I got a 55. I've never failed a class ever. I got a 55 in social studies. And he said it was because of poor missing homework. He had a rule. If you miss 3 homeworks, you automatically fail. But I was smart. I used to do all my homework on the computer because most kids at that time, it's 97, didn't have a computer. I did my homework on the computer. I saved it, and I had my mom sign my homework. So I said, can I get a list of the homeworks I missed? So when he gave me the numbers, I went right to the computer and I pulled them all out. And I said, Mom, you remember these homeworks? I said, look, you signed these homeworks. These are the homeworks he said I didn't do.
Egg on his face.
I said, they were done on the computer and you signed them. So then she took the homeworks in and he changed my grade from 55 to 80. But she punished me because she said, you shouldn't have to be going, I don't know what's going on with you and this man, and this shouldn't be happening. So you're not playing basketball. That pissed me off. Then on top of that, I have to come home and clean up after everybody. So I realized in that moment in my life at 13 was like, you know what? When I do everything y'all tell me to do, I still don't get what I deserve. So I'm going to just do what I want to do. And my parents told me I had a bad attitude. I always started answering back and asking questions. And because to me at this moment, if I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to get in trouble on my terms. You know what I'm saying?
I'm actually get in trouble.
I'm going to actually get in trouble. So I asked why. I said things like, this isn't fair. I said things like, I'm here off your guilty pleasure. I didn't ask to come here. And in those moments, I started to realize when I took the power into my own hands, even when I still got in trouble, because I got in trouble for saying that. Don't think I didn't. Like, I got hella trouble, son. But it felt good to get my point across. It felt good to say how I felt. And I sat in my trouble. And my mother used to tell me I was the most stubborn person. And I was going to have kids. I was going to be just as stubborn. And I said, I hope my kids are just as stubborn and don't listen to everybody else telling them everything.
Yo, my nephew is just like that.
Word?
Yes, he is just like you. I'm listening to you, and I'm like, he gets in trouble all the time for saying stuff like that, but he be having a point. Like, he makes sense.
At what point is it having a point in disrespect?
It's always
immediate
disrespect. He's Jamaican, right? My sister, she's Jamaican.
Have a point?
It's always
what do you mean?
disrespect.
Yeah.
But I kind of get it. Like, I mean, not the guilty pleasure part, but you're not a communist. You don't want to give your money to everybody. I get that part.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, you laughing, but I'm dead serious. Like, Mom, make this make sense for me. And the thing I realized is that when they couldn't make sense of what I was saying in their mind or couldn't answer it, then I was just labeled like a bad attitude, bad kid. And we do the same thing now with people who are going through midlife crisis. There comes a point in your life where you start to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm doing all of this stuff
to appease everybody else.
People, and I don't want to do it no more. And the minute you stop wanting to do things, go to this event, do things, they're going through a midlife crisis. Look, and it's like, no, I just don't want to do this for y'all no more.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're watching people go through now in their 40s.
No, you're absolutely
because that's our friends.
Think about a couple like men you hear, oh, he went and got a motorcycle at 45. It's like he's never driven a motorcycle.
Nah, just stop answering to what everybody else says.
Maybe you wanted a motorcycle your whole life. You've been sacrificing your whole life, and you're finally at the point where you're like, you know what? F it. I'm going to get what I want finally. I'm going to get what I deserve.
I get it. I completely understand it as a 40-year-old because I understood it as a 13-year-old.
It usually happens when people like evaluate their own mortality. They're like, yo, my kids are grown, or, you know what I'm saying, I'm stuck at this job or whatever. Let me just splurge. You did it at 13. You looked at your own mortality.
You've always been wise
I
beyond
have
your
80
years.
more years left.
I'm not doing this.
I am not signing
I'm going to get a head start.
I mean, you're right. If you ask my mom and dad, they'll tell you, like, yeah, I was defiant, but I was like sticking my heels in the ground. Like, I'm not doing this. This is not fair. And they all thought I was crazy.
Adolescent life crisis.
That's what I had. I had an adolescent life crisis. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Love it. All right, well, op or no op time. What you got for us today, Tribs? We're back. Did we welcome everybody back yet, though?
Yo, we back, baby.
We're back.
Back.
17, yo. And to commemorate, you know, dead ass. I have on my dead ass earrings today.
Oh, I didn't see that.
A little nostalgic. You know, shout out to Anika Dwayne.
That's fire.
She made sure she gets me some. So yeah, these are little vintage keepsakes that remind me of how it all started.
That's fire.
And here we are, 17 seasons, y'all.
New merch alert. If you want your dead ass earrings, just contact.
Josh is like, wait.
Yeah, we taking orders.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, who they contacting?
Airing Envy.
Listen.
Airing_Envy.
Airing_Envy. We about to put a link.
Run it up. That you got to get your vintage dead ass hoodies. We still got a couple of those left. Some t-shirts. It's about to be hoodie season. So yeah, make sure y'all shop the merch link. And we have some Ellis Ever After stuff coming soon too. So stand by.
Yeah, I need a pair of those earrings as well.
Fly.
I'm about to put my pre-order in.
Come on
Or
now.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, I guess, midlife crisis or young life crisis, I feel like young men are having a little bit of a young life crisis out here throwing dildos on WNBA basketball courts. First of all,
When I heard this story, I said, what?
yeah, like, how you freaky as hell if you see women playing basketball and the first thing you think about is a dildo. That's crazy. Like, what's going on there?
Well, did we get to the root of like what happened? Like,
Josh.
what happened?
I don't know what the root is. Why are you looking at me?
Because you did your
Because you
research,
was
man.
Googling dildos on court. I know this because I refuse to Google it.
Come
Because
through
that's not
browser
going to be in
history.
my browser history. That is not. So, Josh, go ahead. Let us know what you found.
All I see from first off, I was in incognito mode. Thanks to shout out to Matt. Can't get that in my search history.
How I end up in this?
Crazy. So basically, a crypto group is claiming responsibility for throwing the sex toys on a court.
Wait, a group actually claimed that they did it?
A crypto group
On
I
purpose.
guess
What was this? Was terrorism? What was this?
crypto bros or something like that. I guess they want
I
to.
could
It's a
imagine
marketing
what it-
stunt, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get the word out on their campaign. But obviously, the dildo is trumping the actual marketing campaign because I just learned about this when I Googled it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This
Two
is where
people
we
were
are.
also arrested. Yeah.
2 people was arrested?
2 people were arrested. The name of the crypto coin is Green Dildo Coin for whatever fucking reason. The people are freaked out. You know what I'm saying? That's the new phrase. The young people are saying, these people are freaked out. You know what I'm saying? They freaky as
Green
hell.
dildo
Why
coin.
would you even do that? But that's what it's called. And it's a meme coin. I don't know. And it's intended to be lighthearted, funny. And they claim responsibility, but 2 people did get arrested. 23-year-old just did it July 29th at an Atlanta game. And then an 18-year-old was arrested August 5th for
Wait, this
throwing
happened
another
twice?
one.
It
Yeah.
happened 3 times, I think.
3 times?
Where have I
happened
been?
3 times. It happened
It's
in New
happened
York.
more
So
than
this is a
once.
mass dildo throwing. It's like
Yeah.
a serial
First of all-
dildo thrower out there.
Not a mass dildo thrower.
And these things are not cheap.
It was
Take it
one
from me.
dildo on each game?
Wait, Trevor said, take it
Tell
from
us,
me.
Shrimp.
Let us know.
So what's the going rate for like a really good dildo?
is an investment that you make.
I'm done,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
I'm done.
You're not getting a dildo for under $69.99. And with inflation, it could be about $150 at this
And the
point.
tariffs.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And
the
it's
tariffs
yours,
cost like
yeah.
$1.50
and
for
the
a
wait
dildo.
time will be
That's
4 to 6
crazy.
weeks.
Just to throw it?
nah.
So it was
bro.
one at each game, or it was like they was hurling dildos. Well, I'm dead serious.
It
I
was
wanna
just
know.
one at each game.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. They ain't balling like that. The green dildo coin must not
that's
be
what I'm
going
saying,
off.
bro.
'Cause
Like,
if the
you could
coin was
afford
going
one
off,
dildo?
yeah,
I gotta know
yeah.
out on this because I don't even know. I can't even
But what's
comprehend
the
what's
question?
happening.
I
Ain't
mean,
no question. No wow.
Is there?
I just don't know where we are no more
I guess
in society,
is this a good
bro.
marketing strategy? I guess it has us talking about it, right?
Yeah,
It does, but it's disrespectful, man.
It
These women
is.
are
It
fighting
is.
for their livelihoods.
It is.
And
It
y'all
is.
throwing.
The assumption that
That's a good
it's
point,
wild.
Josh. I just think it's
entertaining.
stupid. Like, I just think it's like I don't think it was a good marketing strategy.
But that's why they wanted
It's
to do it.
disrespectful, man.
it is.
For all those
If
reasons.
if you're marketing your business and then you're being disrespectful on top of that, especially for this league
Mhm.
and where they are right now, fighting for equal pay. Well, I don't equal pay, but
Mhm.
they're fighting for money or getting proper ad revenue. I just think it's wildly disrespectful.
I will
For
say
sure.
this though, and I was gonna say something, but I had to kind of take it back because I was gonna say you can't get good marketing by being disrespectful to a group of people. But if you look at where America is now, that's exactly what
Yeah.
you're
yeah,
American
that
way.
is.
That is
Mhm.
literally what Trump has built everything on, is just disrespecting people.
Mhm.
And it's been good marketing because people talk about it. So, I mean, I guess in their eyes, it made sense. It just seems stupid and low hanging fruit to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just corny.
Yeah, I didn't see the second dude who did it, but the first guy, he looks exactly like the kind of dude who would
You
go to a
expect it to
game
go-
with a dildo in his
Frat
pocket.
boy. He's a frat boy.
He looks like
Mullet.
he drinks Mountain Dew
Ooh.
all day,
Mhm.
and he sits in front of his computer.
Bad cystic acne.
Yeah,
They paid
Yeah.
him. I guarantee you, the dildo company paid him to go do it, and he was just like, "Okay, I'll do it." Like, he's probably not even part of the company, and now he's arrested, and now he's probably pissed,
yeah.
Dang.
just like the people at the Capitol.
Yeah,
I
and
guess that
they
didn't
banned book bags
land
from
well.
certain games too because of that.
I mean, that should have been banned already, but
Yeah, isn't there a clearback
Yeah,
policy with
or
most of these
clearback
arenas and stadiums anyway?
This whole thing's stupid, bro.
Yeah.
You can still get it in though. You can still get it in without a book
No
bag.
pun
You can
intended.
Explain.
always
You
get
can
a dildo
still
with it, huh?
get it in.
Josh is stupid.
Pause.
Yo, close your mouth while we talking about dildos.
Pause.
Right?
Hey yo.
Stupid.
Hey
Triple
yo.
with the pause. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good
Yo,
one.
you
You got it.
Yeah,
Yeah, she got it.
She
Yeah,
got
I'm
She
gonna
was
put an
on
air
point
horn
with
right
that
there.
one.
She got it.
On point with that one.
So we're talking about midlife crises today, and somebody that we all know. I don't know if we love him, but we know him. He's going through a midlife crisis. Just lost his job. Shannon Sharp lost his job at ESPN after he had to settle a $50 million lawsuit with his 20-year-old ex-girlfriend. And apparently she retired from OnlyFans due to this settlement. And he lost his job in the meantime. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because Monique, months earlier, had went on Club Shay Shay. And she tried to convince him that he needed to find him an older woman. And he was like, no, I don't. You know how he talks.
She did.
No, you know.
She did.
And I just want to know op or no op. I know men, we talk about this sometimes where as men age, they have options because they can date younger.
Mm-hmm.
But op or no op, should they actually date in their age range? Is it safer?
Op or no op, should older men date in their age range? I have an op, man. You can't limit somebody to an age range, you know, because there are people in every age range that are evil, manipulative, and destructive. And just because she was a younger woman doesn't mean an older woman wouldn't have did the same thing.
yeah.
I feel like he just got to make more better choices. Use discernment. We talk about this all the time. Number one, I hate the fact that it's national news. Like realistically, like I don't care. I don't know the details. I don't care what he does in his off time. I think him being fired though was warranted only because this was like the second incident where I know there was something else with like a IG live
Mm-hmm.
and it just seems like it just keeps distracting from what he's supposed to be doing, which is talking about sports. And if you become a detriment to the company, you lose your job. Period. Like it's bad press. But I don't care who he dates or who he sleeps with. I don't care. Like I just don't care. I just hope that he finds peace in using discernment and choosing a better woman next time, and hopefully he chooses a woman he could raise a family with. That's just my op. Like other than that, age, it ain't the age thing.
It's not the
to me.
age thing either. Yeah.
Yeah.
My op was actually something similar to what you were saying, but at some point when your personal life starts to intervene with your professional life and it becomes a distraction, like that in itself is, I think, grounds for
Yeah.
some kind of action, whether it's termination or something, you know,
Right.
especially when you're in the public eye and social media likes to just take everything and run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only op I have because I've never been a man, so I don't know what it's like to have to date older or younger. But yeah, if it's distracting from what you're supposed to do as your livelihood, yeah, gotta go.
I agree with everything D just said. Like, you're not gonna put an age range on anybody dating, but is it safer or not? You can't say that. So
I ain't giving no new information, man. Y'all said it all.
Love it.
I can't tell him who, like, what age, or any man for that matter, what age to date. Doesn't make any sense. Because the flip side, no one tells a grown woman that she can't date a younger man. So
That is a good point.
it's no real issue for me in that point. He just got to be more responsible, man. You got to be more careful, man. You dealing with millions of dollars, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and at that point, you got to be able to discern what's happening. And he got a warning. Like, Monique came on it and warned him.
Yeah.
Which was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you play with fire, man, you liable to get burnt, man.
You brought up a good point though. It's like when you represent a brand that's valued at millions and millions of dollars, and you know that you represent that brand, you have to use better discernment for all the things you're doing. Sexual activity, using social media, because you do represent a brand. And people like to say, like, well, I ain't doing nothing for no company. That's why you're not getting paid the millions he was.
Yeah.
And because he didn't use that discernment, he lost it. So that's the only thing I'm sad about. You never want to see somebody lose their livelihood.
I feel like the first time he did it, it was like, all right, cool. There should have been some change, but he profited off of it. He started getting sex pill ads on his show.
You know what? You're
commercial.
right.
So why would he be careful the second time?
You know what?
Oh,
Immediately
so we
after the
made that
first
into a whole
one, they
business.
started
Side
advertising
hustle.
for sex pills. So he's profiting off of his behavior. So there's no jeopardy for him, really.
I never even thought about that, but you are absolutely right. Once the IG Live thing happened, he got a warning from ESPN, but he didn't lose his job.
Correct.
But in his mind, he's like, this wasn't that bad, so let
platform
me
only grew.
continue in that behavior. I feel you on that.
it didn't come across as intentional, and I think that's what the issue is. Like,
Yeah.
it seemed like a legit mistake. I don't know how you make a mistake like that on IG
Right.
Live,
Right.
but it didn't seem like it was an actual publicity stunt. The younger girl situation is a bit different, man. Like, you just open yourself up to so many either accusations or there's just such a disconnect with age ranges in general. Like, he's older than me and she's younger than me, right? There's so much difference there. So I think once you do that, you just open yourself up to so much that you have to walk
So let me ask a question
carefully.
though. What if she was older and still the same woman, would it still be the same backlash, or is it because she's younger and making these claims? Because my thing is, if she's 45 and making the same claims, I don't think people are going to say, oh, she's a 45-year-old woman. They're going to still say he was an abuser or whatever it was that they were saying. You know what I'm saying?
It's just not going to be as bad because she's 20.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think that's where you fall into the issues that she's 20. So the optics of it all makes everything look worse. Like, I mean, it is sexual assault. It is like battery and emotional distress. You can't do that with a woman at any age.
Right.
But the fact that she's 20, it makes you look like you're more manipulating her in that situation as opposed to just like, y'all just had disagreements within your relationship.
And she was consenting fully or something.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem like he's getting a lot of backlash like as an abuser. It seems like people are like, you're dumb as hell for
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I
agree.
Because I think it's kind of
OnlyFans
overshadowed.
model.
I forgot that it was even like an abuse claim in there. I thought it was just the age difference.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think from what I saw a little bit of it, they were going back and forth of whether it was abuse or not, or were they both engaging in sexually aggressive behavior.
Right.
And then now she tried
Like
to
a
make
kink.
it abuse.
That's what
like a kink.
Right.
But it was consensual for a while. So based on timelines, I don't know how careful he was going to be if he was doing that prior to being at ESPN.
That's
okay,
true
that's
too.
a good
So
point
it's
too.
like,
That's a good point too.
Either way, just stay away.
Just
bro.
stay away. I feel
And
you.
who
Red
knows,
light.
man? He's settled. So
Right.
you can't really blame him at this point. He's not proven guilty at all. It's a settlement. So
But the overarching topic here for me, whether you're a man or a woman, if you are of a certain age, 40s, 50s, 60s, don't you realize or believe that there may be some repercussions if you're dating somebody vastly decades younger than you? Like, is that not a thought, or is it just like, hey, well, I'm going to get what I want and they're going to get what they want. So, you know, I just wonder what the mindset is.
I think it varies from person to person. Some people don't have the same values. So, for example, I look at a 20-year-old girl and that looks like a child to me. Like I'm just a child to me.
Yeah.
But for some people, it's like she's 20, she's legal, she can make her decisions, and if that's their mentality, then that's just what they think.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Yeah. What can you really get out of a relationship with a 20-year-old as a almost 60-year-old man?
Right.
Exactly what he got.
Exactly what he was getting.
Right.
Exactly what he was
Exactly.
getting.
Get off the pills. Get off the honey pack. You freaked out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's freaked out.
Everybody.
That's the new thing.
Out.
Every segment she gonna say somebody you
Freaked out?
freaked
Is
out.
that
Freaked out is the new thing. That's the new thing. I gotta learn this
I'm gonna
stuff.
adapt that to my
Freaked out,
vernacular.
I gotta learn
crash
this.
none of
out.
this stuff, man.
Listen, it's too much to keep track of. But
I'm freaked
but
out.
yeah,
You know who I'm
interesting.
freaked out for.
Till thy kingdom comes, we will be. So we're gonna spiral back in. Do we have any more opera or opera? We're gonna lead into
let's lead
the
into
topic of the day.
I feel like that's a real major public midlife crisis that's happening right before our eyes. But millennials, we're kind of getting to that age. Well, y'all are. You know what I'm saying? I'm only.
Come on now, Triple. You gotta rub it in.
We're getting to that age where midlife crisis starts to creep in. Typically, the midlife crisis occurs around 40 to 60 years old. So what do you think? Like,
man,
how are y'all feeling?
You know what? When the topic came up as we were brainstorming, and I'm like, oh, midlife crisis. Okay, so when I hit that point, and I was like, oh, shit, I'm at that point. If the life expectancy for most people is like, 76 or something like that is what I researched, then yeah, I'm pretty much right at the midlife. But it makes more sense to me now when people celebrate turning 40 nowadays. Whereas back in the day, you used to see it as like, oh my God, 40 is so old. Now, people who make it to the fourth floor, we almost rejoice in the fact that we've come to the point where we've lived enough life, where we feel like we have a handle on things. We understand how the world works. And because of that, we're now not giving a fuck. Like, we are literally adjusting the way that we've done things to better suit us moving forward, you also realize that this is the second half of life. Life is so fleeting. You never know when your last day will be. So it's like, yo, forget everything that I was taught. Forget trying to people please, because where has that gotten me in life? I'm going to do what I want. I don't really care. I'm on the brink of perimenopause. Like, there's so many bigger fish to fry at this point that I'm just like, yo.
Perimenopause. Oh, jeez.
Yo, midlife clarity, baby. That's when it hit me when we were having the conversation. I'm like, this is midlife clarity. It's not a crisis when you have a handle on what exactly you know is happening in your life. You create those boundaries. You do the things you want to do. You say, F it, I'm not going to wait. I'm going to book the flight. I'm going to take the trip. I'm going to meet up with this friend. I'm going to love on my man some more because I'm halfway through.
I think Josh brought up a good point when he said mortality. I didn't even consider that. When I was 13, I wasn't thinking about death like that. But at 40, we just went to see my family for our family reunion down in Florida.
Yes.
And I saw all my aunts and uncles and family for the first time since last year. And you can tell people who have aged.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost it a little bit, and I cried leaving. I was holding my aunt, and I was crying leaving because I'm watching people who I grew up who are like strong moving around, who are like not moving at all. My Aunt Debbie's in a wheelchair. My aunt was an elite athlete, played volleyball and basketball in college, and now she's moving around. She had hip surgery. My dad is 64 now, I think.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, yeah. The people around me who I see may not always be here. Let me put more emphasis on the things that matter, right? Like Kadeen and I talk about it all the time, being intentional about spending time with friends and family. That also comes with what people call a midlife crisis, but we call midlife clarity, because running to that job is no longer as important as it was.
Sure.
For me,
ain't.
it's not. Like, I want to spend time with my kids. I want to spend time with my friends and my family, because I don't ever want to get the phone call that so-and-so is no longer here, and I say, dang, I was supposed to see them, and I didn't.
Yep. That happened with my Uncle Paul. Remember, he was supposed to get down here that summer, and all the other riffraff got in the way of him coming here. He passed unexpectedly, and it's like, damn, I was robbed of that moment. So, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about the mortality of it all, but, yeah, seeing your family age and get older and knowing that they were the young, vibrant ones. Like, now we know we're the ones that's having to put on Thanksgiving and Christmas. We even said recently, was it last Christmas, I think? My sister and I were here getting stuff together for the holiday, and we're like, man, it doesn't feel like it used to feel. Like that magic around Christmas, though it's still there because we're creating it for our children, it doesn't feel the same as when we were younger. But that's because we're now the generation that has to put on all of the festivities. We have to cook the meals. Like, that torch has been passed because the generation before us are now starting to slow down.
Yeah, we ain't using that Crisco like they used to.
Baby, they ain't. Nah, listen, nah.
That olive oil.
The
avocado oil.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we ain't
Tribble,
really...
there's something here on the Ask Tribble part. It says, not a clinical diagnosis. While a midlife crisis is a recognized phenomenon, it's not a recognized psychological disorder, right? Do you know why I wanted to point this out?
What, midlife crisis being a psychological disorder?
Yes,
that's
it's
like a thing?
It's
not. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Which goes back to what I initially said, right? It's all us being conditioned to think one thing. And the minute you don't want to no longer think or behave in a way that everybody wants you
Everyone deems normal or expected.
They say you're going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Although there's no studies and no medicine that says that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
Society's telling you, which is also another way of bullying people into saying, hey, you're behaving in a fashion or a manner that we deem that's not acceptable for us as a society. And if you don't fall in line, we're going to label you and ostracize you. I think it's important. One second. I think it's important that we stop doing that to each other. When you see a friend that's of a certain age who's starting to make decisions and choices for themselves, don't ostracize them and make them feel like something's wrong with them. Allow them to discover who they want to be and accept it. And I just want to make that clear. Like, when I read here that it's not recognized, it was like, bing. If it's not recognized, then it's not a real thing. It's something we just say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And what I was going to add to what you said, you're talking about not moving in alignment with what everyone else is doing, but it's also deviating from what people see as your norm. So it's like, I'm used to
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
Josh like
I
this.
was
I'm
gonna
used to
bring that
seeing
up.
Triller
Yeah.
like this. And now she doing something that's
Yeah.
unexpected.
Yeah,
So it's like, oh, let's label this a midlife
Yeah.
crisis. Whereas Josh is probably like, nah, fuck y'all. I'm gonna do what I want to do
Facts.
right now, because for so long I haven't been doing it,
Yeah.
or I've been putting myself on the back burner for everybody else. I'm gonna pull the trigger on something I wanted to do because I've always wanted to do it.
I noticed my wife, like, you know, you've been together for such a long time,
Mhm.
and then you guys are just like on a path, like together, right?
Mhm.
And you know, sometimes you might do things that differently, but I watched her evolve into what she wants to do, right? And at first, that was me. Like, I'm just looking at it like, nah, we gotta do it like this.
Right.
But over time, you see, like, you can't hold anybody from doing whatever they want to do. Like, if somebody wants to do something because they're at a certain age and because they're tired of what society might say, or friends might say, or church might say, whoever, like family might say, you realize like their happiness is more important than what we think might be right.
How did you come to that? Because most spouses can't. That's when they're, you know,
it
There's a
took
class,
time.
yeah.
It took time, and then it I'm also experiencing it in certain areas as well. So it might not be as an extreme, you know, as mine, or her crisis, if you will. I won't say it's a crisis, but her choices might not be as extreme as mine. But I've noticed I've had that same thing too, and I'm like, yo, I want to do this. Why am I not doing it? Which is funny because Matt and I went to Jamaica back in 2022. We went with a friend of ours, Kurf. Shout out to Kurf. He has a villa out in Treasure Beach called Ellises. Go check that out if y'all looking for a really nice vacation in Jamaica. But we went out there to go check out his spot. And we were just having a conversation about family. And he was like, yo, you know what you need to do, bro? He was like, yo, you need to live like your dad is dead, right? And
that's extreme.
It was crazy, right? But he spoke to me because I'm having conversations about things that I'm not doing because of the influence my dad has in my life.
Oh, dang, it just hit me.
There you go. So it put things in perspective for me back then that I'm moving in such a way where I'm using
his lens.
I'm using my dad as a barometer. Well, should I do this? And should I do that? Or should I do this? Or should I do? And the reality is, as a grown man, I shouldn't.
No.
I got my own choices to make. I got my own things to do, right? And when you see that, and when he had that conversation with me about what I should do, and then you look at your wife and like, yo, nah, you need to move like nobody else really matters. You need to move like everything that you want to do, you should just go ahead. Go ahead.
You know how profound that is? Think about how we raising the boys. I'll tell Jackson to do something. Jackson will say to me, Dad, what do you think? My first thing is, why are you asking me what I think when you have to start making decisions for yourself? You're 14. It's like I'm trying to teach him to live like that while I'm here so that he doesn't grow up to live like that when because I used to do that a lot. I used to do that a lot. I used to consider like, and it wasn't just my father, but it was like my mom taught me how to do this. My dad taught me, even a lot of the things I said early in Dead Ass Podcast. Even now, my dad taught me. Remember I talked about finances.
You say it all the time.
I say it all the time.
Yeah.
My father told me that you got to pay for everything. Your wife shouldn't have to do this. Your wife shouldn't have to do that. And then as we got married, I started realizing like, wait, my dad was telling me not to have these conversations with my mom because he was handling and holding on to all of the stress to take it off of her. It was better for me to talk to my spouse and we could figure it out together. And that was just one thing that my dad told me that I changed that helped benefit me. But now that I think about it, if I would have just lived my life like my father was dead, not, knock on wood, I don't want that.
Not literally dead, but
no.
living.
No.
We can go to literal. My father died at 19. I've never said this out loud, but literally probably the week after he died, in my mind, I told myself, your life just changed and life is different now that he's dead. You better act like it.
That's so profound though that you said that though, but it's like really like an epiphany that you said that. Like
your life literally
dead.
changes once you start acting like, yo, my father's not here. And I wasn't a kid who was looking for my father's approval, all that type of stuff. But there's a difference when you know he's there and you're cognizantly thinking about that.
So it's like a comfort level essentially
Yes.
that you feel because you have your parents as like a backup.
I wouldn't say for me it's not comfort.
No.
For me it's
Is it pressure?
making decisions based on if my dad would approve
Approve or not?
Got it.
Right?
Yeah,
It
more
is
like a pressure.
It is living in the shadow of your parent, or living in the
expectation.
shadow of your friends, or living in the shadow of expectations. You have to, from personally, and I feel like I am in a sort of midlife crisis, not in a negative. It doesn't have a negative connotation
Clarity,
to what I'm
midlife
dealing
clarity.
with, but I need to make decisions that feel right to me and not based off of how everyone else feels.
Yeah, absolutely
Yes.
right.
Right. And
Yes.
that's the crisis. It's not that I need to go buy a Lambo or I need to go pierce my
You're right.
nose or do any of these other things, but I need to just make decisions based off of how I feel. And it doesn't really matter what anybody else says because this is my life.
Yeah.
And having similar upbringings, Josh, like you and I, just a very Caribbean household, that like breaking yourself of the shackles of what everyone else is going to think is like some of the most crippling feelings that you could feel if you're not able to do that, because you're always going to have that in the back of your head.
And that's where the optics come in, is that you're having a crisis once you step out of those, that reality.
That norm. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the minute you move like that, your life can become better. In high school, I had a full scholarship to go to Stony Brook. I chose to walk on the Hofstra. People thought I was nuts. I wanted to do it my way, though. I didn't want to do it the way other people said, right? I had an opportunity to start working at Hofstra when I graduated as an assistant athletic director, but I chose to be a free agent tryout in the NFL because I didn't want to do what everybody thought I should do.
Right. Or what was easy.
And it worked out for me. It was more difficult to go my own way. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. So
Start on social media.
Yes. The social media, same
prime
thing.
example. We wouldn't be here if we didn't think,
right.
or you didn't have the foresight to say, let's do this. Because I would have been like, no,
but
my mom going to
the
think.
thing that Josh says that really made the most sense, and Matt doubling down, you can't look at your life through your father's lens. You want to know why? The world is evolving, right? It's almost like the Old Testament and the New Testament, right? If we lived by the Old Testament in the Bible, then if something happens to me, you belong to Brian. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah.
The Old Testament in the Bible,
you
belong to my
Brian
brother.
Ain't coming.
Which
I'm not going there. I'm not going. I will stay right here. No offense, bro, but I'm staying right here.
I'm pretty sure Brian would be like, yeah, you stay over
right,
there.
exactly.
I'm not trying to have them bills.
We don't want no parts.
But
Throw me a dildo first. That'd be a dildo, bro. Thanks.
But seriously though, the way the world evolves, if we continuously look at the world through our parents' lens, we'll always be behind.
True.
The same way our children will always be behind if they look at the world through our lens. Like that right there was a breakthrough. I didn't want to hear it when you said it like my father's dead. The first thing that came to me was like, why somebody got to die all the time? But you're absolutely right though.
Back.
Yeah. Wow, that's super profound.
I feel like being a queer person, it kind of forces you out of living through your parents' approval, because you have to
absolutely.
You have to kind of reckon with you're living a life that they don't necessarily approve of, and you have to you got to decide, like, do I want to live the life that they want me to live, or do I want them to be a part of my life the way that I'm living it? So I think I came out to my parents when I was like 28, and for a long time I was like, well, I'll come out to them when this happens or when this happens. But then it came to a point where it's like, we can either have a relationship that is genuine and full today, or it might be too late at some point.
Or we'll have a false sense of relationship
exactly.
if you can't be truthfully who you are.
Yeah. And so with that, and because, I think when you have parents who have never done the things that you have done, they also give you more kind of independence to show them what the world is.
Because you came out and told them this is what I want to do, and since they automatically knew that that's something I've never done, it was, well, you show me.
They like, well,
right.
hell, we don't know,
right? So it's like sink or swim.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm gonna put you out on this limb, and if it works, and if you're okay, and if you're happy, kind of like what we're going through with our parents, having to like parent our parents now.
Yeah,
it's like they have to see that we've been successful in this route to then say, okay, well, maybe I'll take your advice on this, because they're so stuck in how they do things. And
imagine trying to live your life through that person's lens.
Right.
That's very person
you set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Right.
You set yourself up for failure if you try to live through that, because they don't know nothing.
That is a fact.
They
right?
don't.
Their job is to teach you to let you go, for you to not experience things on your own. But what we do, for me especially, is they've taught me. Now I'm relying on what
And you
they've taught
holding on
me
to it.
and holding on to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here's another perspective about the midlife crisis. Most of the time we think about midlife crisis as when someone has lived a traditional life and now they're in their 40s and they want to get a motorcycle, or they want to dye their hair, or they want to date a younger person. But what about a person like me that's nowhere near 40?
Mm-hmm.
But
Triple, you
I
nearish.
wouldn't say nowhere
You
near.
nearish.
Mm-hmm.
nowhere fucking near 40.
Yeah, yeah. 38 and a half.
But see that I lost my train of thought trying to be young.
I love. The oldness came out.
Somebody like me that's approaching 40
Mm.
in about a decade, who's like not married, doesn't have kids, and you're kind of having a midlife crisis. Like, well, then what do I do if I'm not gonna have kids? If I'm not gonna get married, like, do I let go of this idea? Do I, while out?
Let go of the idea.
Yeah.
Because think about it, the idea was everything that was what was the movie? Inception. Remember Inception? The idea of Inception was that they could plant an idea in your mind and make you believe that you thought about it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That's social conditioning. It was made into a movie, but that's what people do to each other, right? They constantly repeat things to you and how you should live, how you should be, what you should think, what you should eat. And it gets to a point where you start thinking that, I want to do all of this.
Yeah.
Until you get older, and to the point now where you are in your life and you like, I never wanted to do that. I don't want to do this. And I don't think these things are important.
Mm-hmm.
I applaud actually this generation and the generation after us. I'm seeing a lot more people being vocal about, for example, not wanting children.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what we have seen. That's what we're accustomed to is that's the succession. You grow up, you get married, you have kids, you live a life.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are just like, I know for a fact that I don't want to have children for all these reasons.
But I will say this though, they don't want to have children because of the amount of I don't even, like there's such a bad narrative around families and children now, that now having a family is no longer as important, because conditionally they've been telling people for the last 2 decades, like, you are more important than your family. You are more. It's all been about you, you. That now we as a culture of people don't value the things that really make us happy. If you think about it, I enjoy being around my family. I love my kids, right? And when I hear people say, I don't want to have kids because of the way I was raised, I'm like, dang, that means someone socially conditioned you to not want family. You don't even really believe that yourself, but it's because you were raised poorly and because no one took care of you while you were a child. You're like, I'm not doing the same thing. So I think it goes both ways, but I will say this, though. You are absolutely right about them being honest about it early, as opposed to doing like our generation did, which was just get married, have kids,
right,
and then fuck those kids off. Because that's what a lot of, if you go back and look at the 90s, 2000s, there were broken people having families because they were socially conditioned to think that by this age,
right,
I have to have a family,
right.
I have to have kids. Then the kids came and you let the kids be raised by TV, social media, outside.
Yeah. The reasons I was seeing a couple people say, some people just were admittedly like, I'm selfish. Like, I don't want to be on anybody else's time. I don't want anybody relying on me. This world is now so fucked up that I don't want to bring children into this world.
Yes.
They're expensive.
These are people that don't need
They
kids.
cry.
They
Like, and
don't
I'm
need
like,
kids.
and I'm like, shout out to y'all for knowing that's exactly what you don't want. But I can see, Triple, like you said, once you reach a certain age, if you're not checking these boxes based off of timeline or what you've been conditioned to believe that you should want, it's like now's the time to kind of have the conversation or start to scramble. I know some women who are approaching 40 or in their early 40s, they're like, I got to freeze my eggs now. I got to put them aside just in case. Like, those are the conversations that I'm in now, perimenopause, and talking about all the things that's happening at this age. So there is kind of like a scramble, I think, that happens when you approach 40, that midlife time, where it's like, let me reassess what's important in life, the things that I've achieved, what's left to be achieved, what I've been putting on the back burner. This is the time where that stuff comes to fruition.
And that's it. It's a bigger conversation in the mortality piece, because you think about legacy. Like, when I cease to exist, if I don't have kids, that's the end,
Yeah.
Or what if I were to get sick, or as I age, who's going to take care of me? Like, I live alone now. If I'm having a panic attack, I got to figure out who can I call right now. and somebody's not gonna text me back, then I gotta find another person. Whereas like if you have a partner, you wake that motherfucker up like, hey,
Yeah.
we are having a panic attack
Yeah.
right now.
Right. Or like we are.
Get the fuck up.
I like
Feel
that. I'm
like
gonna use that one.
Get the hell up.
We're having a panic.
I love that.
Yeah.
Or when people say, "Damn, y'all don't have no daughters. Who's gonna take care of y'all? Because the boys are gonna get married and they're gonna move on and have their own lives. Like, who's gonna take care of y'all with no daughters?"
I will say my oldest brother takes care of my dad more than
Yeah.
the rest of us do.
Yeah, I would
More
rely
than
on
I
Jack.
do.
Because it's not
I'll say.
gender specific.
No,
it's not.
It's just we've conditioned to think that, like,
yeah.
to be honest, we've
Right.
even conditioned our boys to think it's okay to go out and do your thing. But if it was a daughter, we would be conditioning our daughters to be like, make sure y'all take care of dad. It's
Yeah.
to me, I don't think it's gender specific. I do think it's all social conditioning. But listening to some of the stuff y'all said really open. Like my mind is going right now
You're
because
back on the
I'm
other one.
thinking about how like the boys. I don't want them to grow up with that in their mind, and I feel like a lot of things that I've done have created that social conditioning from my boys to look for me for everything, and I don't want that.
I think it's just
Yeah.
independence. I think you have to teach them, but also teach them they need to make their own decisions when it comes down to it all. I mean, I think for me personally, I won't say I grew up a sheltered life, but I mean, relative to what the world is, it's sheltered. So I look to the things that my parents taught me. My parents are very conservative. I grew up in a church, so a lot of those things and a lot of the decisions I make in my life are based off of those things. But if you're teaching those things and also independence and make decisions for yourself, I think you give them a healthy start in terms of not necessarily depending on or reflecting on the things that you've taught them to make decisions solely off of that. They got to use other data, like where are you at in your life?
Right.
What do you want for yourself? So me personally, like it took me, I remember I got an earring at 18 years old and I hid my damn earring. I got my earring
At
like the
18.
day before I went to college or something like that.
Oh no! Did it get
And
infected?
oh no, I hid my braids.
Rest in peace,
I had
Theo.
braids. I hid my braids.
You hid the braids.
I hid
Under
my
a
braids. We
do-rag.
had a
Oh,
party
do-rag.
at the house, and
Yeah.
my god sister was over. She braided my hair, but I threw a do-rag on and put a hat on.
Yeah,
Went to sleep.
been there before.
My parents drove me to Rhode Island to school. Didn't know I had braids under my hat. I get there, I'm like, I got my braids now. Hey, you know what I'm saying? like,
You showed them the braids before they left?
oh yeah, they
And
saw
Miss
the braids
Daisy
before.
didn't
Yeah.
They were
say,
mad?
take it out.
I remember when I got my
Take it
earring.
out.
My
What
mother,
did they say? What
Huh?
did they say when they saw your braids?
my father didn't say nothing. He says nothing. He just,
He was probably hot.
He's going home anyway, so at this point, he's
The
like,
judgment, you
man.
could feel
Yep.
the judgment.
yeah, you can
right?
feel the judgment.
This.
He
And
was like,
that's the part
we're
where
That's
you
the
can't-
part.
You got to teach them that independent part. Like, you gonna make a decision, you make a decision for this. But here's what I think about what you're doing. But it's your decision to make.
And we do that with Jackson.
You
Yeah.
do.
We're
Yeah.
good at not. Yeah, we're good at not shaming them for making their decisions. It's like,
Mhm.
yo, whatever you do,
Right.
we're gonna be in support. I think.
Did
that
you weigh out
teaches
all of
them.
the options though?
We
Yeah.
do that. You see us.
Y'all
Matt.
definitely do that. Y'all,
We do that.
I don't think you need
Okay.
to worry about
I was stressed for a little
yeah
bit.
doing
though.
too much of the
Yeah.
old school way, but I think
Right.
you still need to teach them, and then in that teaching, teach them how would you operate if I'm not here. Like you need to go through this.
That's something I say.
and think
to them all
about
the
it. Like,
time.
what if I'm not here to make a decision for you? What would you do?
I do say that all
Right.
the time. Dad might not be here.
Mhm.
Dad is not gonna be here. What would you do?
Mhm.
And I do see the panic in their eyes sometimes. But I say, yo, figure it out.
Yeah.
That's
Figure
been
it
our
out.
motto forever. Is
Figure it out.
That's how you prevent. I got my moment of truth. Oh, I got my moment of truth.
Well, hold it.
And
hold
first
it.
of all, I want to thank y'all because that statement, "Act like your father's dead," really
Live like your father's dead.
live like your father's dead. We have to put that on a shirt or something. Live like your father's dead, because it really does mean a lot, and it'll
It does.
catch people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if your father's dead, there's nobody to call and fault. You got to figure it out. You have to trust your own. I'm not gonna say my moment of truth until we get there. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna hold it.
You be excited when
I'm
you got
gonna
a good moment.
Nah,
of truth.
that really
But I
opened my
love it.
mind.
Yeah,
Them thinking about it. Like,
that's the point of having these discussions.
I didn't.
man.
It's funny enough. I didn't bring it up. I didn't bring that point up for, midlife crisis. I think from my perspective, making decisions at this point in my life, it really affects me that my dad is alive and my dad is still present. I'm like, thank God my dad is alive.
right.
I don't want to get to the point where my dad is no longer here. Now I'm like, yeah, now I can do what I want. It's
Right.
not about that. It's like,
Mhm.
you want to get to that midlife part in your life and do the things that you always wanted to do that you didn't do before. That's what
think about the shackles that we have over our lives where somebody will pass away and then the comment you'll hear if you do something is such and such is rolling in their grave thinking about it. Or, oh my God, I wish somebody could see this moment. They would be so happy. It's like...
Yo, Josh is diabolical, son.
That's good though. Nah, that's good.
Let him turn.
Because now why am I living for a dead person?
coffin.
I'm not doing what I want because of a dead person.
But it's the shackles that we have still,
so true, though,
living
Josh.
a
You
Let him
life.
turn, bro.
Yeah,
I'd have
when
been in
we're-
school incurring mad amounts of debt if I thought about like I'm
That
gonna
is
stay
true.
here only because my father would still want me here. No, I was serving no purpose here, and I
Yeah.
went and pursued something I really wanted to do.
That
Yep.
is so
Some
true.
people are still living with those shackles of what this dead person would have
But
thought.
it's not only your dad though.
Yeah, it's not only
Nah.
your dad, because moms, I see how your mom in particular,
Mm-hmm.
she was very, and the one thing I would say about Mimi, creating a foundation for y'all to have substance was
Mhm.
so
Oh
important
my
to
God,
her.
paramount.
But I also see how sometimes it was like shackles to you, where you was like, I can't do this because of my mom, and I was
Oh
just
my
like,
God, all the time. I mean, it did save me for some trouble.
That's
too.
the
Hell
real
yeah,
lit-
it did.
It definitely
Yeah, for
saved me
sure.
from trouble. Like
It
if my
keeps
mother
you out
ever
of a bunch of
found
stuff.
out,
That's-
that fear alone was enough for me to be like, I'm gonna walk this straight and narrow.
That's one thing I want to say too, and we should do another podcast about this. We are not shaming our parents.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
We are
No.
exactly who we are
Because of them.
because of our parents.
Absolutely.
Like
I would love to have a podcast discussion about
we
that.
have to, because there's a lot of
there-
parent bashing that goes on, and
From our
all of our
generation
parents in here,
specifically.
if you look at all of us and how we are,
Mm-hmm.
we had to have had good parents in order to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's also fair to say, you know what, I could tweak this so that I could be better for my kids.
Right.
So I just want to be clear that
And
we're
again,
not
rolling with
parent
the
bashing.
times, right? You got to
And that's
move
the
with the
job.
times.
Yeah.
They
That's
did the
your
best
job.
they could with what they had. You know.
I
So.
think my mom is gonna live so long, which is great. But every year she's gonna ask me when I'm having a baby, and I'm gonna have to tell her for the next like 30 fucking years.
I got a green dildo,
Not
ma.
happening. Yeah, it's not fucking happening.
That's it, sis.
I'm gonna have the longest midlife crisis just because I'm gonna have to answer my mom this question for the rest of my life.
You don't have to, Triple. You could just be like, look, Mom, you see this? This is what I use.
The green dildo.
You want to have green babies? You want
She
to have
would
little
say,
green
yeah.
plastic
I
babies, Mom?
don't care what they look like.
I'm gonna love them anyway.
Yeah, I don't care how they get here. She said that.
She does. Oh,
She has
wow.
said that.
Wow.
She like, I don't care how you get. You gotta go get a baby from the fire station. You do that.
Just go take a baby. Huh?
Yeah.
You
Find
don't
a
want you
baby.
to
You
be
need a kidnap.
kidnap.
You need a kidnap. Do that. I won't tell.
That's hilarious. Oh my God.
That's a good mom right there.
That is a good
Right.
mom, though.
That's a ride on time.
Figure it out.
Baby, I
Bring
don't
it
care
in.
how you get that baby. Go take somebody else's baby. You just better come here with a baby next year. All right, Mom. Be a felon.
Fact. Let's take a quick break. We're gonna pay some bills and we're gonna come back into the first listener letter of season 17. Y'all stick around. We are back now with our listener letter. Ready to dive in, baby?
Let's get money.
All right. Hey, Ellises. I've been watching you both since I was 17 and now I'm 25. That's pretty dope. The fact that like
That's what's up,
17-year-olds
man.
are tuning in.
Appreciate you.
I just want to say how proud I am of everything you've built. You've inspired me in so many ways, especially as I've stepped into my own womanhood. I'm already impressed because she's using commas, punctuation.
That's
She's
what's up.
25. I love it.
Well, let's thank the editor for that. These
Triple
motherfuckers-
put you on
Triple.
blast.
She put you on
She said this
blast.
whole thing was one run-on sentence. It was just
I appreciate that, honey, because we been here like, y'all gonna make me look like I can't read, and I know I can read. All right. That inspiration led me to finally share a story I've kept tucked away for a while. I met this guy when I was 17 and he was 21. We dated for a year, but it's been on and off as a situation for the past 6 years. I know, wild, right? Back then, I wasn't thinking about stability. I was dating based on looks and vibes, which got me absolutely nowhere. Throughout our relationship, he's cheated on me with multiple women, dabbled in dark magic to manipulate women into sex. Yes,
what the fuck
really.
are we even talking about no more? Like, there can't be a follow-up question.
Freaked
When
out.
someone dabbled dabbled in dark magic to get women to have sex, you might want to leave that dude.
Right.
She probably one of them.
She probably is still stuck under the spell.
Ooh.
Right.
You just cracked the code, Josh.
All right. Well, listen,
Yeah,
we're
Dark
done.
you
No.
gotta
magic.
hear it. It's crazy.
Wow.
Okay. So manipulated women into sex, yes, really. And even tattooed a woman's birthday on his neck, someone he later claimed meant nothing to him. And that's just the surface. This is just the surface? Okay. It's honestly painful and embarrassing to admit. Despite it all, I stay connected. But as the years passed, I noticed a pattern. No growth, no car, still living with his mom, always switching goals and chasing different dreams. His upbringing was rough, and I gave him grace, maybe too much. Now at 28, he says he's changed, but he's still in the same place physically and mentally. I care about him deeply, but I've realized I'm not in love with him anymore. I think what has kept me emotionally invested was guilt. Guilt for growing while he stayed stuck. But now I'm in a different season. I got my own apartment, 2 cars, I'm enrolled in law school, and I'm thriving in my business. I'm proud of how far I've come, but this emotional tie has lingered. And I guess that's why I'm writing to you. As a 25-year-old woman trying to choose herself while feeling compassion for someone I've once loved, how do I navigate this? You don't.
What?
How do I honor my heart without betraying my growth? Man, fuck your heart. No, just kidding. Don't the growth feel better? Thank you both for being a light. I'd love any insight you can share. Oh, baby
Can I just
girl,
say something?
baby girl.
Go ahead, Josh.
You're going to be really profound. I'm not going to be. Yo, run. Okay?
Yes.
Just run,
Fast as
man.
you can.
Yes.
There's nothing profound to say.
He
I don't
hasn't
understand.
grown at all. He
6
physically or
years.
mentally, and she's
Yeah.
getting a law degree. She got a car. She got her own apartment. She's doing exactly what she needs to do to level up to get to the next level.
Right.
And he's literally. He's an anchor.
We got to start at the beginning. She was 17. He was 21.
Yes.
What were you doing dating a 17-year-old at 21? So you were a junior in college.
If
and
he
she
was
was
ever
a
in
junior
college.
in high school.
Wow.
There's nothing you have in common. He was using black magic, got another woman's name tattooed on his neck. These are the issues I have, right? Because this young lady will say, after going to be like, niggas ain't shit, right? This is what niggas, no. You seen all the red flags and you still continue to lay down with this dude. And then when something happens, you're going to blame him. Run.
Yeah.
Like at this point, you showed us everything that we know was wrong. And we the same people that'll tell you, like, sometimes you got to work with red flags. That's not a red flag, man.
Nah, this is terrible.
That's
This
not
is
working.
multiple
Terrorism,
women
bro.
dabbled in black magic to manipulate other women.
This is emotional
So
terrorism.
you're essentially being manipulated.
Yes.
And you know
Yeah.
this.
Yes.
This. There's some people also you can still care for from a distance. Like this person, I don't think you
Nah.
should care for him from a distance. This is somebody that you cut off. And the fact that you are doing all the things to level yourself
Yeah.
up, you're putting yourself into a bracket where you'll attract the kind of person who is your equal.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else to talk about, baby.
Yeah.
Run. You heard what Josh said? See them run. See them run. See them run.
When I bust my guns.
My guns. My guns. Ma, you got too much to offer. We love you. We love you. You got too much to offer, man.
And that is a fact. All right, y'all. If you want to be featured as a listener letter, we can't wait to hear from you. Season 17 is just getting started, baby. You can email us at theellisadvice@gmail.com.
That is TheEllisAdvice@gmail.com.
All right. You have been chomping at the bits to give your moment of truth, baby. You can get started.
Thank you to Josh and Matt for the most clearest amount of clarity being said, bro. My moment of truth is live your life like your father's dead.
Yeah, that was mine.
I said in the beginning I was gonna steal it. No, it's only because, and I'm gonna keep it short, bro. We spend so much time holding ourselves to the standard our fathers and the people before us lived in a time that is no longer being lived. We cannot uphold that standard as times evolve and change. We have to evolve and change. And by holding up their standards, we limit ourselves. And that's why we feel unfulfilled. I did want to ask one thing before we get off. Do you know what your purpose in life is?
I think I do.
Do you know what your purpose in life is?
I think I do, yeah.
Do you know what your purpose in life is?
We still working on it.
Do you know what your purpose in life?
I do.
I think people need to focus more on what their own individual purpose is rather than what other people want them to do.
Amen.
I love that. I think my moment of truth is in order to eradicate the idea of a midlife crisis and having that, start living life sooner. Don't wait until you're in your 40s to feel like this is the time now that I have to self-correct, self-regulate, do all the things I didn't do. Start living essentially more in your purpose, or at least seeking that out earlier. Stop living your life where you feel like I'm at this crossroads now and I have to make this rash decision just to feel good because you've been so concerned about making other people feel good for so long. So start doing the things you want to do now to avoid the midlife clarity / crisis later on.
I'm gonna repeat the same thing. Live life. Your father's dead. Like, and I'm gonna also repeat part of what Kay said. Start making cognizant decisions that I want to do this for my life, not I'm going to do this because somebody else told me this is good for my life. Just start the process. It's going to be difficult early, but just do it.
That's deep, but it's a fact.
Tribs, you got anything for us? Moment of truth time?
Yeah, all this shit is made up, so make up your own.
Yep.
shit.
I like that, Trip.
Yep.
That's so true. We all here trying to figure out life every day.
I was going to say something like that. Like, this is guidelines. This is not a script. This is not instructions on what we need to do. So whatever we've learned in life, use it as guide. And when you use a guide, you putting the stuff together, you fixing your shows up in the crib.
Yeah.
Sometimes you toss that joint and do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You might get it
might
right.
fall apart, but
it might fall
try
apart.
again.
That is a fact.
Seriously.
But it was like $100 at IKEA. You get another one.
That is a fact, though. That is a fact.
Oh, man. Awesome episode, y'all. Great way to start the season out.
Yeah.
Be sure to find us, y'all, on Patreon. There's so many amazing things happening with us in the Patreon family. So stay tuned. And if you're not already a part of Patreon, be sure to join so you can see the after show as well as more exclusive Ellis family and Ellis Ever After content. And you can find us on social media at Ellis Ever After. I'm Kadeen I Am.
And I am DeVal.
I'm _Matt.Ellis.
And I'm Joshua_Dwayne.
And I'm Tribs, the cool, TRIBBZ, the cool on everything.
And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. And also make sure y'all download them episodes, baby. Download. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Yes.
Make sure you download them episodes.
That'll help us out greatly.
Ellis Ever After is an iHeartMedia podcast. It's hosted by Kadeen and DeVal Ellis. It's produced by Tribble. Video production by Joshua Dwayne and Matthew Ellis. Video editing by LaShawn Rowe.